All right, this is the American Financial Reset. Got a great article here. What's going on in Iraq? Iraqi Kurdistan's cash crisis hits banks and regions of hope. I've always told you about the Islamic State fighting in Iraq and causing a big deficit within the Iraqi government because they have to pay for the fighting of the Islamic State. So they're cash strapped. There's no money in Iraq. And it's amazed me that people seem to think they have plenty of money when they really don't. Let's go to the evidence. Let's go to the article here. This is from Reuters, dated December 6, 2015. Iraqi Kurdistan's cash-strapped government has seized billions of dollars in deposits at the two branches of Iraq's central bank since 2014, bankers said, calling into question the region's image as a business-friendly paradise in the Middle East. Since Baghdad cut budget payments to Kurdistan in January 2014, the Kurdistan Regional Government KRG has struggled to meet the public payroll and is now several months in arrears. The fight to drive back Islamic State, which swept across the Syrian border and toward the original capital of Erbil in June 2014, has been added a drain on the budget. Apparently, these different countries had banking operations in northern Iraq. They had private banks. They had banks from Lebanon, Jordan, United Arab Emirates, UAE, as well as the state-run Iraqi lenders, may sue or threaten to divest from the oil-rich northern region if their funds are not released soon. So basically, the KRG government went into these banks, basically the two central banks in Mosul and Sulaymaniyah, and said, "Hey, you're giving me this money." Baghdad, which is facing a budget crunch due to the low oil prices, and the fight against ISIS, said direct oil exports violated the constitution. Through Kurdistan is now exporting more than 500,000 barrels per day of oil, as many as 10 countries. So even though they're exporting 500,000 barrels of oil per day at say roughly $40 a barrel, they're still having a credit crunch, money crunch, in paying the government projects in KRG. Things are not going as well. It's unclear exactly how much money is at stake, but interviews with nearly a dozen bankers and officials suggest it is in the range of $2 to $6 billion. Ali Tariq Mostaf, executive director of the Iraqi Private Banks League, estimated that deposits at over $2 billion. Bankers said the share of 7 Lebanese banks deposited totaled nearly $100 million. Iraqi banks have much more invested, they said, with at least 15 local lenders thought to hold up to $200 million each. 15 local lenders up to $200 million each. That's a lot of money. Reuters is not able to contact all the banks operating in Kurdistan. Our accounts have been frozen for a year. We cannot have a single penny from the Central Bank of Erbil. If I ask for 1 dinar, they don't give it to us, said one of the bankers. This is an interesting. Plans to issue a $500 million international bond earlier this year was opposed by Baghdad as an overstep of regional authority, falling oil prices, rising geopolitical tensions, and a difficult backdrop for emerging economies stalled the scheme. Now, if you remember correctly, the KRG want to sell bonds, but the Baghdad central government put a stop to it, and rightly so. A spokesman for the Iraqi Central Bank said the Kurdistan offices. A spokesman for the Iraqi Central Bank said the Kurdistan's offices were independent. Erbil and Sulaymaniyah do not belong to the central bank. They belong to the region. Talabani disputed that they're technically branches of the Central Bank of Iraq, and therefore it is the Central Bank of Iraq's responsibility to ensure liquidity to these branches. Iraq's central bank asked private banks last week to provide documentation of their deposits in the northern branches in preparation for a visit to Kurdistan to try and resolve this issue. But Talabani said the underlying liquidity problem showed no sign of letting up. So Talabani said we had to manage the shock in the best way we could. He said we couldn't stop functioning as a state. Basically, what this article is telling you that they have no cash. They are broke. And you already seen the reports earlier that the Peshmerga forces that are fighting in the Kurdistan area, the Erbil, Kirkuk, they haven't been paid in several months, but they're still fighting. They're still supporting the government. So just another great article here. Iraqi Kurdistan's cash crisis hits banks and regions' hope. Reuters article, December 6, 2015. Thank you for watching. This is American Financial Reset. And let's go on to the next videos. Thank you.